All right, good morning. Happy Sunday to all of our listeners and to all of our awesome community members that are here taking the time to join us in this think tank as we come together each week to talk about our goals and set tasks so that we can actually accomplish these goals. If you guys missed it, I was in an amazing space this morning with the Well Dressed Society. They asked me to speak about digital fashion. I talked a lot about the RAW DAO, and everybody, I tell you guys, whenever people catch wind of the RAW DAO and what we're doing, there is so much excitement, and people just love how we are positioning ourselves to be pioneers in the space and building these skeletons that people can plug into and start building with as well. So I just again want to say thank you to everyone that is actively contributing to that vision, because again, we couldn't do it without each and every one of us. That is the beauty of a DAO, with how each of us add our own perspectives. It was even great during the space, a few people that had just joined into our community recently, like Iana with being a part of the fashion show, and even Dels, who's recently got into the DAO. We're working on getting him his show streamed in our Metaverse kind of thing, and just hearing the awesome feedback and them sharing their experiences there just really solidified again a lot of the amazing things. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
कलर वलर डालने का उसमें सोचना पड़ता है, ये पहले स्केलेटन देखो, देखो ये आपका दिखेगा, कोई अगर सर्च करे तो ऐसा लिस्ट में दिखेगा, लिस्ट आएगा, ड्रॉप डाउन दिखेगा, ऐसा कि ये ऐसा दिखेगा। अब वो बोलेगा हाँ बराबर है, ये जो क्रॉस है ना इधर नहीं आना चाहिए, इधर आना चाहिए, इधर आना चाहिए, तो ऐसा ऐसा कर देगा। फिर बोले अभी फाइनल है, ये आपका ये रहेगा 1 2 3 4 5th पेज पे जाना है, फिर वो बोलेगा अच्छा आप कंफर्म हो गया। अब बोलेगा कि इसको फाइनल, तुझे क्या करना है, इसमें कलर डालना है, जहाँ पे यहाँ पे डमी कंटेंट डालना है।
Dang it, how do I do this?
ये सब बनाने का कितना मिलता है, पता 10 लाख रुपए, लाख रुपए 10 लाख लगेगा। स्केलेटन बनाओ पहले वो पूरे पेज का।
Zane, if you can hear me, we can hear you talking.
इसको मॉकअप बोलते हैं, इसको यूआई डिजाइन बोलते हैं।
How do I mute this?
Wireframe, sorry, wireframe बोल।
Okay, there we go. Cool. Sorry about that, guys. And I try not to edit these, so sorry about that for all of our listeners there. And welcome Osteen Joe. That is one of the people I was just telling you guys about that came onto the spaces today, and also we're working on getting their podcast actually in our Metaverse. Very exciting. I'll actually be meeting with him after our community call to talk more about that, and then we'll be sharing. So yes, good morning. So, jumping right in to our community call for today, if you guys see the section over to the right here in the think tank, our messages, I did drop the 3 topics that we'll be talking about here, which is our Raw Stream Team update, building in the Metaverse for our tournaments, and a physical to digital package. So I'm very excited about all of these different things. First and foremost, one of the biggest things being, as you guys know, we have a lot of initiatives that we're always working on, different people kind of focusing on different areas in order to help us kind of accomplish them all, which is another one of those kudos that we got, that we're covering mobs and crypto and Metaverse and like all these different facets. So
very nice.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Very nice. Okay.
I can't. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, Joe, because I don't know if you're talking to me.
Okay.
How did I just do that? Okay, here we go. Okay, so going back here to what we were talking about with our stream team. Oh yes, and our initiatives and the many initiatives we have. So one of the things that I've really been enjoying is you guys all know that we've been working on the stream team and developing that. And we've been able to really create a solid foundation and then come and give you guys updates each week and then get feedback from there. And I think that has been something that's been really great, especially when we talk about how you unlock more access to the community and having access to this different kind of information. Because as we have learned before, when you start giving too much, then anybody can take that and kind of start building their own thing, which is great, especially in Web3 open source kind of thing. But also, as we are a new brand trying to build our own reputation in our own like niche, a lot of things we have to kind of protect as well. So being in this stream team and kind of being able to have some core members that want to be working in that stream team, focus on building that, and then sharing everyone is something I've definitely enjoyed, especially as a DAO, being able to see, how to work collectively in those different kind of manners. So some of the things we've developed so far is an application. So what the stream team will look like, if you guys don't know, the main thing is we're going to have events right in our raw world where we have all of these awesome displays. Like Vlad has his display where he's showcasing all of his books. A lot of designers are showcasing their digital fashion. We have musicians showcasing their musical NFTs. So many different things going on, and we want to get people back in the metaverse and enjoying these different things. So to kind of start that, I started a new section here under what's happening called events in the metaverse. So if you check this tab here, that's where we will kind of put updates. This weekend we've actually been listening to a live jazz festival, and what's been really cool is, if you guys know Acapella, one of the builders that we worked with for our fashion show, it's actually been hosted in his world. So I showed like a really cool video. He's really great at like teleporters, and you like walk in and hit the teleporter and it takes you right to the jazz festival. And that's been really great, again, to show people how you can even have these physical events and connect it to the digital, right? That's what we're all about, physical to digital, and also helping those artists get exposure by having that value layer of saying, hey, even if you're not, in New York or wherever the jazz festival is, you can still watch and be a part of it and have this really cool experience as well. So and we do that in collaboration with Third Planet Studios. I'm sure you guys see them often throughout the Discord. They manage a lot of artists, so that's where we end up connecting with that on a lot of forefronts. So that's been really exciting, and that's why we need the stream team, so that we have a lot of different streamers coming in and being able to stream that content, because we already know a lot of this stuff is algorithm based. So imagine if we had like five to 10 different people streaming in our raw world at the same time. That's kind of how that stuff starts to be able to spread that awareness. You're getting different audiences now that are also watching that content. And not only that, but these streamers also make their own content, whether they're streaming while gaming, or streaming while educating, or streaming while doing anything. We have so many different kind of streamers that play different kind of games. Like I said, we have a lot of designers that stream while they're actually creating their digital fashion, and just again, so many different ways that they're already creating content. And we want to be able to give them a platform as well to be able to share that content and engage with their followers in a new way. So with that being said, our stream team, we've been working really hard on even looking at what that looks like, because this is also another way that we will be appealing to the youth aspect that we talk about a lot. And it's been great, because a lot of the youth that have come through, minus those that kind of spammed our Discord one time, and that's why we have, again, been working on this process and being diligent about what that looks like. But those that are coming through are super excited. They are kids that are super creative. And I don't want to say kids because they're like teens, like 14 and plus kind of thing. But they're youth that are super creative and see us and how we are all serious and business oriented and want to learn from us. And you guys know that's what we're all about, just passing on that seed to the next so that they can start watering that. And if you tap into these younger people that are looking for that, it's just going to be up from there, especially because they have a lot of influence as well. One kid, he's streaming and he posts, and everything always gets a lot of views, where a lot of us are still trying to master that in itself. So again, when you just open up your mind to say, hey, regardless of age, regardless of anything that may have made you think I can't learn from another person because of how they look or how old they are or whatever kind of prejudgment you may have, we want to always create this space that we are all learning from each other. And that stream team, I think, will be one of those great things we can do with that. So with that stream team, we have developed an amazing application. It's very straightforward. It just kind of asks for people's like social media information, so we can kind of like follow them, look at their content, and kind of check out what they have going on. And then it's separated into the different aspects of streamers that we have, which I've kind of reiterated a few times, like our gamers, Web3 gamers, or like dwellers kind of, educators, and then also Create With Me live sessions. So those will be the 4 different assets of streaming that we kind of do there and want to host. So along with that, you guys know we've been talking about our tournament. So last week we talked a lot about actually hosting a really cool tournament in there, where we're going to try to find some really cool like interactive games like Capture the Flag, using a lot of the random like Neos tools that are already in there. Like I know Shamgar was like kind of like a water gun fight, but I was like, yeah, Neos, they have guns, but it's like even a cooler, where it's like you hit somebody and then it looks like they're kind of like tripping, where it's like everything gets all like colorful and like in this like different, and now your whole scenery just changes at that point. In Neos and in the Metaverse, there are so many different things that you can do with that. So one of the things we definitely need to start doing moving into that next point is actually building these tournaments in the Metaverse. So what that will look like is Musashi, I mentioned we will be building like a new world per se, where it will be kind of like teleporting, right? Or when we talk about interoperability, this is why Neos is so great, because it's open source and offers a lot of those like key phrases that you hear often throughout the space. And that's like teleporting and experiencing different worlds in different ways. So what that will look like is we're going to build a new world that is kind of just for tournaments, and we're going to set it up in a really cool way that we will all be able to build together. And then it'll be almost like people walking through a door. So when they first want to come to a tournament, they'll launch actually in our regular raw world, where they can kind of explain, our main hub, all the things that people have going on, but then can walk through another door and actually get into the tournament section, or walk through another door and get to the studio section, or walk through another door and get to acapella's music festival section. So kind of creating, this other atmosphere on, again, empowering anybody to create their own world and be able to connect it with us as well in that kind of sense. So with that, we are going to be starting another like build session. You guys know when we were building for our fashion show, that was something we would come together every week to build. And then towards the end, we ramped it up and was like, every single day, which I think was also very efficient. So what we're going to start doing the same thing as well. So for our tournament, we will start planning that. We're going to have to get with our build team and actually set like a day. We'll put it out there and see what kind of day consistently works for everybody, so that we can actually build a tournament space, plan that, and then start advertising that. And one of the really cool things when it comes to our stream team, a lot of the things we've been talking about for Q3 is how to actually start monetizing a lot of the things that we're doing, so that, a year from now, when we're going into Q1, or not even a year from now, like 6 months from now, when we're going into Q1, again, we're in the best position that we can be. So with that, the stream team offers a lot of that, because, we stream on Twitch. So with the stream team, one of the things that we've decided to do is kind of have it like in tiers. So those tiers will also be closely aligned with the access to our Discord. We do have a separate Discord as well, which is the Raw Stream Team Discord, because again, it's a streamlined process. So when you first get in, you fill out your application, and then you get welcomed into the Raw Stream Team server. And then we have like a point system that we're developing from there, which is like, if you stream 3 times, we set goals, stream 3 times a week, post content 3 times a week, watch somebody else's stream 3 times a week kind of thing, where again, we're setting out these outlines for how you can be successful as a streamer and how you can add to the ecosystem as well. And as you contribute, you get points in return, and really gamifying how to grow within our ecosystem as well. So with that, also aside from the, just being in the general public, Twitch also offers tiers, where you can have your first tier, which is like $5, second tier, which is like $10, top tier, which is like $15. And these are just like average prices in those Twitch tier systems. And we've all kind of talked about it, but this is why we're here now, pitching it to the DAO to kind of get more feedback on what you guys think about the tiers and how we're kind of setting it up at this point, so we can start iterating from there. So, so our tiers, and those will also be aligned with our Discord. So, say you are in the $5 tier, then that will unlock another section within the Discord, for $5 tier, which may be some more pointers for streaming or access to a different event kind of thing, and as well as the second tier, which is even more access to even more channels in the server, and maybe a one-on-one session, or maybe at this point now you can do like dual sessions where you can now collaborate with different levels of gamers at that point, and just these different ways. If you guys have ever been in a streaming Discord, there are so many. If you don't know, that's why Discord, even what it is because this is where a lot of the gamers were first. So you can really learn a lot by actually going into gaming servers and seeing how they have theirs set up just like this already, with tier systems and making it unlockable depending on the tiers that you have. So again, kind of connecting with that whole ecosystem again puts us in a lot of positions, because like we talked about when it came to like skins and sponsorships and being in the game and everybody wearing a designer's t-shirt or different designers t-shirts for like advertising, and again just the different ways that it will all end up connecting. So actually building that tournament is what we're going to be working on. Building out those tier systems so that people can actually join. These are the things we're finalizing before we actually put it out there. Finalizing this point system in general for those that are joining and how they can grow within the DAO. So did anybody have any thoughts that they would like to share about the tier system or the stream team or the tournaments, anything like that, before we roll into our last section? Let me see. I see Shamgar started stream sharing. Awesome. Shamgar, if you wanted to unmute and kind of add to that, please feel free.
Yeah, my bad. So I was working on the point system last night. I didn't completely finish, but this is just some of what I got. But with also the tournaments that you said in the tier system, especially for tier one is going to be like the basic one, but that's what's going to get like most people onto it. So I feel like the tier one's just going to be a hook, because basically, like, people are going to use that to compete in tournaments and do all these other things in Discord. But tier 2s and tier 3s are the ones that are going to give, like, much more knowledge and access to, like, all the resources that we personally use in our Discord. So I think it's like a jump going up like that. Because I think if we have our Discord organized like that, not only does it help with getting more and more serious people in, but also with just that filtering system of, like, shutting out people who are more into things than not. Because, especially me, like, working on the gaming side of these things, like, I really am meeting a lot of people that are talented and skillful, but then you just meet a lot of people that are kind of, like, lazy, too. So I feel like a tier system like this, and with points, and you actually reward users for, just participating or being consistent in things, I feel like it definitely is a rewarding system.
Awesome, yes. And that was a great point you mentioned there. We are doing a big time trying to weed out the people that don't want to, right? Like, oh, it's too much to fill out this application. This is obviously definitely not for you at this point. If you can't take 5 minutes to fill out this Google form with your social media so that we can look at your social media and you tell us what you actually stream about, because it really shouldn't take more than 5 minutes to fill it out anyways. And then going from there, like you said, the education that we want to continue to connect with, and those real community members that we want to be engaging with. So yes, thank you for sharing, everybody. Make sure you're looking at that to try to get an idea on what we've been talking about for the point system. If you haven't seen our Wonder Board, that is kind of what we're going to be using in addition to this as well, where that's where we will be, delegating points, where you can complete this task and receive your points. And again, using our stream team to really be that great example on how you start to unlock more with those points. And something else I will add with that as well is when it comes to those point systems. So you guys know we have that also for our regular tasks. So why that kind of stuff matters, right? It's like, say for example, we are talking about monetizing a lot of what we do. So even when it comes to like participating in a tournament, right, that will come with something like a $5 charge. But say you have 100 points, you can have 100 points or pay $5. So now people will kind of want to collect their points and see how they, can get those points instead of pay. And it'll work the same for the other half of our DAO, right? Say you're just a regular designer or writer or anything like that, and we say we're going to start charging for advertising in our raw world, where initially you just can show your QR code, and then maybe say you pay more, and then now you actually can show some pictures or videos or the actual 3D image and different things like that. So again, we can always offer, you can have a certain amount of points or pay a certain amount of money. And one of the another examples we'll be using that with is for a musical educational workshop that we're kind of putting together with the Spirit Uit DAO that you guys have seen with Tune and their musicians that are based there out of Africa. They have a lot of musicians that want to share their music and look at the Raw DAO for a lot of education as well. So we are trying to put together like this workshop where we will have different hosts, have workshops and then some musical performances in between. And again, one of the ways we'll be doing that is you can have a certain amount of points to get your ticket from Raw. You can have their virtual card that their DAO does for your ticket, or you can pay X amount of money. So whenever we're collaborating with other people, we can always set that standard on you can have a certain amount of points or pay a certain amount of money to kind of unlock access to these events, so that our community members are rewarded for putting in, and then others are intrigued as well. So great point there. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Shamgar? No? Oh, yes.
Definitely making it to where like the people who do, like we talked about, like with sharing posts and like supporting, and then just even knocking out tasks, making sure that's definitely higher for them, and also giving like rewards and point systems out for the people that compete in tournaments. Because I know with the zone war tournaments and stuff, personally for Fortnite, like I'm definitely gonna be paying people to do that because those are always fun. But the Neo's first ones, if we give out points or for like Twitch for Twitch subs, that would be like really cool. I feel like. And it kind of inspires people, like, cause a lot of these kids like really go crazy over contests like that. Because like people go crazy in the Fortnite community already when people give away like 1,000 V-Bucks. So anybody giving anything away of actual value, and all you have to do is compete at like a certain level, people like really will go crazy over that. And it's also kind of glad to say that you got the hover and everything up, and I was glad to see the little videos that you have. So it's also I made it a point too, like basically a point per every like post. So I don't know if you want to do more or less for it, but basically just to use our hashtags per post, because the more we use it, it'll create like basically that niche, and we'll be able to actually get an analysis from our like social media tool.
Awesome.
Like from that hashtag alone.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And yeah, we definitely got to start using our hashtags. Again, using the algorithm to our advantage. I have faith that we are all smarter than an algorithm. So, we have to just be together, though, to be efficient and actually use that to our advantage. So, really great point. And I think, like you said, gamifying it and also offering incentivizing the community is the whole, like, perk of Web3 and DAOs. And again, everybody that puts in gets out in a different way, and it doesn't have to be the standard work for an hour and get paid $7.50 minimum wage kind of thing. Like we can unlock different things, like you said, a sub on Twitch or V-Bucks, or just different things that will motivate the community in general. So really great point there, especially when it comes to incentivizing the community. I see Vlad is typing, so I'll hold a sec before we kind of jump into the next. Oh, he stopped typing. Okay, maybe. Let me also see. Joe, you may be trying to talk. I'm gonna unmute you again. You're kind of talking. Okay, sorry, I haven't even... Okay, yes, thanks for popping in, Vlad. Make sure you listen to the replay. We'll talk about the physical to digital packaging last. So this is the next kind of incentive that we are working on when it comes to the Raw DAO. And again, this is for all of our listeners here that are listening to this replay, because it is very, very important with what we're about to start going into next, which is creating our physical to digital package. So, and why this is important, I had shared, if you guys ever watched the Shark Tank, that was one of my favorite shows back in the day. And I still like the show now, because there's just a lot you can learn from investors and small businesses, and what small businesses go through when they're trying to start up, and how money is an important factor so that you can actually fund a lot of what you're trying to do. Even if you get really big and popular. If you don't have the funds to be able to support that, then you still run into those same kind of issues. So that's why we continue to talk about finding out a way to actually monetize what we're doing so that we can actually fund a lot of the things that we're doing and offer,
I'm
incentives.
sorry to interrupt you. I think I'm on like the cusp of that for real. I've like really have just been busy. There's been FNCS and everything lately. But I have been doing a lot of research on like those content automation things and like how to really grow on socials. And I kind of have the whole thing together, but more so just getting together with everybody so we can actually like do those things. And the more social media calls I do, it'll actually help me get more into those things. But there has been like a lot. I've been learning about how to try to make side income from this because I've been definitely trying to make that a reality.
Yeah, exactly. And that's important. And I wanted to also confirm with you if you wanted to start having those social media times sometime like weekly or monthly or however you wanted to set that up.
I like to do weekly. And like I said, Wednesday to Fridays, I feel like are the best time, like between those 3 days. And I could probably squeeze in before, but it all just depends because like FNCS is on Monday, and so we'll definitely call again, and there'll be like a round 2 and a round 3. So like I could be playing possibly all week. But I know out of that week, there's going to be at least like in the 3 hour period where I'll be free during the day to talk to people and do stuff.
Okay. Yeah, and that's not something we have to roll out this week then. So that way, I like balance. If you guys don't know, if you ever tell me you have a lot to do, I'll be like, you know what, we don't have to start this right now. Especially that's something we can plan out. Really, take a week, get some details, you figure out what you got to do, and then come together so that once we actually start it, it will be beneficial for you as the educator and for all those that will be getting from you. So that's something we can definitely put on the docket to start ironing out those details, to have weekly social media conversations, especially because we have different people, like even Joe, like you said, Shamgar, your specialty is like social media, and Joe's is also like strategist and customer service and engaging with those. So looking at all the different perspectives that we have and being able to use everybody's to again bring a lot of this into fruition so that we can all start growing individually as well is definitely the goal there. So with that being said, going back into this physical digital packaging, basically one of the things that we are working on is actually like I was saying with the Shark Tank thing. So I had shared Mr. Wonderful's video. Let me see. I don't even remember what channel. Oh, I think I shared it in the news. So yes, I shared it in news. So you guys can even watch that. Where it says Kevin O'Leary Start Engine Pitch Competition. So he does this like monthly. So and it's so funny because hold on guys, sorry. So I watch this kind of stuff and I always use it as an example, like, hey, imagine if we were to pitch it to Shark Tank, and get, big investors in kind of thing. What we have to have our ducks in a row to be able to talk with people like this. So again, I'm always watching that to kind of prepare ourselves for those kind of moments. And I suggest everyone to do the same because that's how you continue to sharpen that iron. Do things that make sense. Don't be working backwards. So one of the things, though, while I was watching this is coming down to licensing, right? And you guys know we talk about having these physical to digital workshops and physical events in schools and in high schools and in colleges and in all these different kind of places. So with that, there was a lady that actually presented, and hers was kind of more like about mental health and for the youth, but it was so simple how she created like a workshop basically, or like a course, and schools could just license her course and pay for the course and then teach it themselves. So if you guys don't know, that's something that Havo and I have been kind of talking about a few months ago, which was like creating like easy packages that people can actually kind of get from Raw, where it's like they want to talk about physical to digital and we can have the resources for them to educate and to even host an event if needed. So that is something that we are definitely working on now, and I want that to be very exclusive to Raw when starting, because again, when it comes to licensing, this is where our bread and butter is going to be. You guys know we have our whole resource library that we've been building with the brain, where I share a lot of my how-to videos that I've been creating and our SOPs that we've been creating. And so our goal now is to create a very great outline so that we can also show other educators and collaborators and DAOs in the space with how they can share what they have going along with RAW. And then we can go and connect with universities and schools and protocols and anybody that is looking for this information as well. And so, like I said, so far we had started with our resource website where we've been trying to collect resources to reshare, but also something I was thinking is kind of also changing it more into like a on-demand kind of experience, where we have a lot of these videos that we're collecting from educators, and again, you can license and get this education and information and host your own workshops. And even if it, you want the physical thing, having like a package where you get your projectors and your whole setup, and that will even be great because again, like how we've been talking about our tournament, so we have our tournament going on, and people can actually start hosting physical events, because that's also how you get a lot of people involved, at different places, whether that's outside or in a school or just anywhere. I like I said, I live in Vegas, so it'd be nothing to pop up on the strip and have a bunch of people walking by and actually starting to take part, especially because they're not going to be foreign to that concept, because there are a lot of other places that kind of already do that around here. So that's something really big that we are going to start working on, is actually putting together that physical to digital RAW package, so that way we can start collaborating with other educators in the space and really curating that first package there. And so I'm very exciting. Havo is in collaboration with one of the universities there in Mexico where he's at, Monterey. It's like the Central Education Design Services of Monterey or something of that nature. But yes, the university there. And it's really exciting. That will be in September. So we are going to kind of make that our goal to have that done around then. But again, along with how we've been kind of setting up the stream team, we want, those that are really building that idea to be working on that idea, and then come back to the community and be able to offer feedback and get some feedback from there. So that way, we are building with those that want to build with RAW, and then pitching with those that want to collaborate with RAW, because again, we definitely need to have something that is like RAW exclusive, right? And why I want to emphasize that is because we do not have our own marketplaces. We are not a fashion brand that drops our own NFTs. Our whole thing that we've kind of cultivated as our own back in like January or March, actually, when a lot of people may not have been around, we were going to have our own marketplace. But at a point we said, instead of having a marketplace, we instead want to be a resource hub and have our own website where we have resources instead of a marketplace. So this is just the evolving of even that idea, and that's why it's so special, and why I really want to make sure we really find it even a way where we can license it in a Web3 way, right? Where maybe you don't have to buy licensing like the traditional Web2 way, but you buy a RAW DAO NFT, and then that gives you access to a lot of the things. Or again, we collaborate with another DAO, and like I said, you get rewards from us and the other DAO for even participating in that kind of thing, and just all the different things that we can really unlock with having that physical to digital package, and really again intertwine it with a lot of the things, all the Twitter spaces we have, all the events in the metaverse we have, so that as we're also telling content creators, because a lot of us should also still be getting in contact with content creators and trying to get them streaming their content in our metaverse, offer that incentive, like, hey, we also have a bunch of people that stream our stuff everywhere too, and again, being able to start unlocking next levels of value and bringing all of the stuff we have together in these kind of ways is what I'm really excited about. So I really didn't have too much else as regard to this week other than our stream team update. Again, we do have the application finalized. We are working on just confirming those tiers. I didn't hear anybody have any pushback regarding those tier systems or pricings that we've kind of put out there. Anybody that's listening, if you have any ideas, feel free to share them in the ideas chat. If you have an idea about stream team structure, anything we should add, if you want to kind of join in being a part of helping build that out. Otherwise, we will be kind of finalizing that over the next week or two and start really onboarding streamers and getting that stream team rolling, and again, so that they can even help with building the tournament environment and building out that first tournament, and putting together these different tournaments, whether that's just Fortnite tournaments, where all the Fortnite players can game together, and in those different ways, as Shamgar has mentioned before. So really starting to actually put that together and attract those people that want to do that, and then putting together our physical to digital package so that we can continue to offer a way that anybody can collaborate and connect with us in an efficient way, whether that's a university, a DAO, an individual brand, anybody. So very excited about all of that. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add? Questions, thoughts, concerns? No? Perfect. Well, this has been a great conversation. If you guys don't know, one of the other things we're working on right now is merch for the RAW DAO as well. AKCB Zane has been kind of working on that. So if you have any ideas with merch, and also to piggyback off of that, Shamgar, I did also remind her that you do the custom merch. So maybe you two should all connect as well. Maybe we can create like a merch team, because like I said, I'm all about breaking down more into teams as well, where we can have our general merch line that you can kind of get, that's kind of generic, and then also our more custom merch line that will be also made in home by Shamgar.
Yeah, that's such a good idea, because not only obviously like for us having built our treasury and stuff, but also for the fact that like the custom designs, it'll be a lot easier for people to connect with us personally. And I think our custom design, don't get me wrong, like the normal shirts are gonna look really good, but I feel like those custom shirts are just gonna be like a level above, because even I've been looking at more of my shirt where I actually know how to run it and stuff now, and it's really like just a layering thing. And really, I can create up to 4 layers on a shirt, but I just have to have the materials for it. So it all depends on like what types of shirts, but I can just think of like 3 basic designs already with our RAW team, and adding like a Twitch logo and other like just like maybe different social media logos that would like help us for real.
Yeah, exactly. And I know Zane has probably also had some ideas. I know she's been drawing up some sketches, and I even just put out before, like she had been trying to do something more, but when you create it on the easier one, Teespring, that I've kind of suggested, you only get a square on the front of the t-shirt, and it's like this isn't doing what I'm really trying to do, and again, just offering that generic one, and then saying, hey, if you want the really really cool one, that's why it's got a ticket on it, because it's also made in home, and there's a lot of effort that's put into that as well, so that we can still offer that value. So great point. I'm excited to kind of see that connect and see you guys grow that. I will kind of start, I guess, a merch chat. So anybody listening as well, if you want to be a part of the merch committee, is what I'll officially call that, the RAW merch committee, feel free to reach out and share any ideas in the ideas chat about any designs you guys have. And then we can make that. I think also, Shamgar, with the RAW stream team merch, that will also definitely be a great point, because maybe you are on a certain tier or sub for X amount of months, then you kind of earn a t-shirt kind of thing, incentivizing all kind of things, so that way you still are earning, and then yeah,
I like it just because like what are kind of like our mission, physical to digital. I kind of want to just change the gap. How you talk about like us being able to go to schools or different places and like actually talk to these kids and help with them. That's more so the reason why I want to post more educational content on how I game, just so I can try to put myself in that position to do it. Because I would really love to do things like that, because that is truly the why I started gaming for real. And especially all you all know all the negative things I go through just dealing with the Fortnite community. It's just so like mind refreshing to remember that there's like actual kids that really need help with this stuff, and that there's like actual community full of people.
Yeah, there are, and you have attracted some really great ones. I will tell you that. Even like Comment, that's only one that I've really have, or 2, because I work with Comment and Elixir. But both of those were really smart kids that I just understand, see what's happening, and want to be a part. And one of the things they really admire about, you know, you and myself and the people here in the raw community is how business oriented we are and how much they can learn from us. You know, even Comet now has a whole server and it's like hit 100 people and, you know, trying to get their logo and like really take it serious. And Elixum minted his first NFT and, you know, trying to sell that now. And it's like, yes, you guys are doing it and you're starting at a great age. You have a, you know, great community around you already, and you're putting yourself in a great position where you can really be successful, right? I always give people that example of Warren Buffett because everybody knows who Warren Buffett is, and he is who he is because he started at the age of 12, you know, by seeing what the heck was happening and taking his allowance and going to buy stocks instead of going and buying, you know, ice cream at the ice cream truck or candy at the corner store, you know. So I really applaud those the youth that see this and want to be involved, and like you said, being able to educate and help them is such a beautiful thing because you already know how like life-changing that can be by having those right influences in your life.
Yeah, and that's definitely something I'm looking to do more. It's kind of hard to do it, like especially just with the game I am now, and I've gotten some kids like you've seen, but really, like I said, there's that great game, and also Epic posted another game called Rumbleverse. There's apparently like there's a whole bunch of people who've been seeing like what Fortnite did, and they're like, you know what, we're gonna make a battle royale. It might not be better, but it's like it's definitely be something that like everybody in the world plays.
I wonder if that's the same. I wonder if Rumbleverse is the same Rumble bot that is in Discord. Because I will say Rumble in Discord is really, really fun. Maybe I'll get that bot here in our Discord as well. There's one Discord that I'm a part of. And they're not really like gamers, but they do a lot of like creative sessions, live streaming as well. When I talk about like a lot of people that create, you know, live streamed, Miss Milky, she's that person. They have like a whole peeps NFT in their Discord, and they do weekly rumbles, and it is so much fun. All you do is like hit an emoji, and then the rumble happens, and it's like it kind of walks you through like everybody that hit the emoji, then it's like a whole rumble that happens. So it'd be like, oh, and it's like different versions. So say you hit like the pirates, so it's like, oh, Mokaso used her parrot to beat up Shamgar, and now Shamgar is taken out, and then, you know, it kind of goes through all the different people, and then whoever is the last one standing in the rumble is the winner, and then you kind of can keep going from there, and it gets a lot of community engagement. People are like, what the heck is happening? And it's really funny to watch, and it's like just fun to do random stuff like that and be a part of. And I think we'll kind of also, you know, bring that gamification into it. If you didn't see, recently Wendy's had just shared about how you can go into their metaverse and like play some of their games, and then you get a free burger in real life, you know. So it's like having big companies like Wendy's, who is seeing the same physical to digital and gamification and incentivizing the community for being a part, and understanding like those are again those things that will help keep us in that right position and be able to incentivize our community as well. It will all just keep coming together.
Yeah, I really do like it because it's like growing off the positivity.
Exactly. Those are seeds we want to plant, you know. I was just reading this one book where it just, you know, reminds you that your mind and your life is like a fertile land. You know, if you plant a seed of positivity next to a seed of toxicity, yes, you will grow that positivity, but you're also growing that toxicity as well right next to it, you know. So it's just really being mindful about what you are planting, because those seeds will grow as well. So, you know, if we always remember, keep that in mind, and that's why we even have this apple, because, you know, you get the apple and then you plant the seed. Once you eat the whole apple, and then you get the seeds again, and you plant the seed, nurture the seed to get the tree, to get a new apple. And, you know, being able to keep passing that on, and you got a whole apple tree, so you can feed a whole lot of people at that point. So, you know, just making sure we're mindful of those seeds that we plant. Like you said, keeping it positive and being mindful of those that grow and want to connect with us is all, again, I think we're on the right track and going to keep attracting the right people that want to build with that. So, yeah. Awesome. I think this has been a great community call. We've got a lot of updates again. The biggest thing would just be finalizing our stream team, getting that out there so that we can actually start coming together, building in the metaverse, putting out that first tournament and then packaging our physical to digital actual package. So if you guys have anything, like I said, that you want to add, feel free to drop it in the ideas chat anytime. Otherwise, you guys know we will be making content to let you guys know all the amazing things we have happening this week. I think we have one more jazz festival event that'll actually be happening tonight. So if you guys haven't joined the Raw World Metaverse ever, feel free to join tonight because we will be in there again. Maybe I'll share some more like how-tos actually get in the Metaverse and some more content around that this week to even like promote and inspire people to go and explore while we are building, so that, you know, once we actually have it out, people are ready to be in there. So this has been great though, guys. We will be back again next Sunday, same time, and I hope you all have an awesome rest of your Sunday. Peace.